All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3, and Adawan Ratazah. This lesson will be edifying, as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash and Tawada Abanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, vanity is valuable to them. And I just want to do this quick lesson pretty much of the state of people, chiefly in Babylon, and what these people lay near to their heart, or what they find important, or valuable, or have substance, ultimately is all vanity. Okay. And in this walk, this is why Yahweh Shai said to us, he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. All right, because outside of this truth, there's really there's nothing that you're gonna do that isn't a form of vanity. Okay, having a successful so-called job or career, family, wife, things of that nature, that's all just vain. It's all in vanity at the end of the day. Because, and someone could say, well, why? Well, because the end was declared from the beginning. Okay, let me actually grab that. The end was declared from the beginning. So, Esau, let's actually go to that one. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 6. Esau is the end of the world, okay, meaning the end of an age. We're getting ready to embark on an end of an age, okay, where it's going to be a culture shock. There's going to be a new way of life, and you are not going to be able to continue with whatever you are involved in now, to the next age. That's why the scriptures say you came into this world with nothing, okay, and you have to understand that as a servant. You have to understand that, moving forward, moving into this walk, that, we're surrounded by vanity. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Now, what world's going to end? The vain world that we are in right now, this captivity and everything that comes with it. Okay. Everything that comes with it, the temptations, the lusts, the craft, the skill, the career, the success, the trophies, the accolades, the awards, all of that is getting ready to be burned out of existence. But these people look at this vanity as valuable. All right, let me get this real quick and I'll go back. There's Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. And we're the rich. All right, we are the rich. Okay. What did Yahweh Shai say? I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Let me grab that real quick. All right, let's go here. And you brothers should be thanking the Lord that you're inspired to do lessons, that you're inspired to repent, to want to read, fast, pray, do the right thing. The closest these people get to doing the right thing is watching a Spike Lee movie. But I will say this, they are doing the right thing in as far as their lot. All right. Everyone's in their lot. Everyone is in their position. Everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And majority of these people are supposed to be living in vain. They're supposed to be living in vanity. And matter of fact, it says that there are portions of our people that were actually born in vain. Can you believe that? This is Revelations 2 and 9. Look, red letter. All right. GMS red letter. I know thy works and tribulation. This is talking about us, the rich that sit in a low place, the ones that, we're working on patience while dealing with vanity. That's one thing for me, something as simple as at work. Now I do it to the best of my ability with all my might. But at the end of the day, I understand that it's vain. All right. Meaning the job, not our labor. Our labor is not in vain. Okay. Serving Yahweh Shemel Shai, that's not in vain. See, I'm speaking and precepts are just coming to me. And that's the Holy Spirit. And I'm thankful for the Lord to inspire me to give me these precepts I got 3 points I'm making all in one sentence. So let's get it. Okay, let it load. Let me go right here. Let's click on it. All right, so we don't lose that one. Let's click on it so we don't lose that one. And let's click on it so we don't lose that one. Okay, so right here, let me see. Okay, so let me go back now. All right, now let me read this real quick. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast and unmovable. See, so you may be at your job, you may be around people, and at the end of the day, it's some bullshit. We know it's vanity. They don't know that. They look at it as valuable. They look at the awards. Oh, what's this? Damn, Satan. All right. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not vain in the Lord. So this is the only thing, that we're doing that's not vanity, that's not vain. All right. Outside of this truth, it's a bunch of BS, man. Okay. It's a bunch of BS. So now let's go back and make our initial point. Revelations 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. This is us, the rich, while we have to sit here and watch idiots, less informed people. And that's really the plan of the elite. Esau sets up, lesser of the mind people in positions of high status to keep the populace low. Okay, the people right now are poor and uneducated, and that's how they like to keep them. This is why we are a problem. Okay, it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. See, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's speaking about these Israelites out here that sold out. That's speaking about IUIC, ISBK, Watchmen for Israel, BOW, and the list goes on. Okay, so it's blasphemy for them to be calling themselves Israelites and are not, because they are the synagogue of Satan. So even their work is in vain, even though they're doing ultimately what they're set up to do. And they're set up to fall in their vanity. Okay, and that's a scary thing. So let's go back. 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. See, so that's us. We're Jacob. Okay, and this world is getting ready to come to a screeching halt. This age that the rich are sitting in a low place, watching these people walk around in vain, in vanity. Okay, and it's going to come to no avail. And that's actually what the word vain means. Look, I looked this up. It was done in vain, meaning to do something in vain means to do it without achieving the intended results. Now, guess what? Esau building, fulfilling Isaiah 54, creating the ICBMs, that wasn't in vain, okay? But him thinking that he's going to create a new world order, that will be in vain, okay? Because he is being set up to attempt this ushering in of an age that he's not prophesied to be ruling in. Okay, so Esau at the end of the day was born for a reason, but his thought process is going to be in vain, because this is what is needed for him to ponder upon and attempt to achieve something to fulfill prophecy. So that's beautiful. That's a supplanting right there. It says to do it without achieving the intended results, like working out and then losing the boxing match, making the effort futile, useless, or to no avail. And that's what Babylon gives you. Babylon promotes you to live in vain. Babylon promotes men and women to live in vain, wake up in vain, go to sleep in vain, work out in vain, study in vain. It's all vanity. All right. It's all going to come to no avail. It's going to come to naught very soon. But these people, they look at these things. Like I remember when I first learned the truth, when I was first allowed to learn the truth, my mother caught wind of it. She left a voicemail crying on my phone. Mind you, she's a Christian. I honor her. I get it. She's not set up to know. But mind you, before me learning the truth, I, in vain, actually was going to join the military. For making that not happen. But my point is, she or they and them had no problem that I was ready to give my life over for Babylon and the U.S. government and the military to invade other lands and injure and hurt, heathens, all for Esau and the elites. That was fine. That was fine. But the minute you hear me, renouncing the world and, putting all this stuff away, now that's a problem. See? So people look at vanity as valuable. Oh, my son is a police officer. She's a chef. It's all fucking vain, man. Okay. These people, they got nothing going for them. All right. And you need to understand that one of Satan's job is to entice you with vanity. All right. He could use something to allure you away, and then you do it. And then now you're sitting there feeling stuck because you just realized, wow, that was in vain. Exactly. It's all in vain. That's what Babylon's business is. Vanity. Okay. All to get you. Now let's see what else we got. Okay. So I looked up the word vanity. All right. Right here. And when you look this word vanity, oh my goodness. When you look this word vanity up, it says excessive pride. Okay. These people have excessive pride on them, man. All right. They're very proud in nothingness. They're proud in low level bullshit. All right. Football is vanity. NBA is vanity. All right. MMA is vanity. All right. You may watch it for entertainment reasons, but this is why I said folly is set in great dignity, because they keep people occupied in folly. And now because folly is promoted with resources and wealth, they now look at that as successful, achievable, and something to be proud of. The world's greatest boxer. There's always some world's greatest boxer. There's always some world's greatest burger, but it's all in vanity. All right. Okay, let me keep going. Let me see what else I got here. Oh, it says excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievement. See, this is why I got an office. I have a title. I have a document. I have a degree. I have a bachelor's. I have my MBA, Master in Business Association, whatever. The quality of being worthless or futile. Exactly. All right. So what does this place possess? The quality of being worthless. All right. This place, it like women, okay, the girlies, they're vain. It's vain. Even King Solomon said that. Let me grab that. Like even the youth, being youth is vain. Watch. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9. All right. You got men that devote their lives to the women and children. That's vain. It says the whole duty of man is to serve Yahweh Shem El Shai, the Israelite man, and then the heathens will serve us while we're serving the Lord. Now watch this. This is Ecclesiastes 9, and let's start at 7. It says, go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart. For Yahweh now accepteth thy work. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou loveth all the days of thy life. Look, life of thy vanity, which he has given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor, which thou hast taken under the sun. So these people are set up to just happy wife, happy vain life, you see? But we have a purpose, we have a walk, we have a destination. These people are just wandering around aimlessly. And the people that I'm talking about first is the portions of our people that were born in vain, and they're just as wandering stars. Okay, they're just wandering here. I'm a wanderer. I'm a wanderer. You know that song. Okay, these people are just wandering around aimlessly and nothing. All right, and they just want some kind of trophy. They just want some kind of accolade to make their nothingness feel important. That's what these people don't realize. They want to feel like their vanity is important and it wasn't done in vain. And they're going to find out very soon that was some bullshit. Let's get this. Ecclesiastes 1:14, I have seen all the works that are under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. And this is where we're at. I got to tell my eyes, relax. You only got to be here 8 hours. You do your job, but you look around and look at everyone, and they're so just intensely indulged, in their craft. They're so indulged in this temporal world right now. Okay. And watch how these people react when they see that their world is ending. Their age is ending. Let's jump down to 16. It says, I commune with my own heart, saying, lo, I am come to great estate, and I've gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. Right. When I go on World Star, I'm knowing madness and folly. I perceive that this is also vexation of spirit. Exactly. I'll look around and see men being pulled by their fucking woman who needs to be led by a man. You know, you look around and watch kids, how they act into their parents. You know, and it's all just vexation. You see, you go to work and you see how happy people are, you know, just serving Babylon, and it's vexing. It gets vexing at times, but we have peace because we're spiritual, and we know that, hey, rejoice and be glad because our captivity is accomplished. So this thing's getting ready to go. So enjoy it while you can is the a statement that I walk in. It says, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increases sorrow. All right. That's why I say ignorance is bliss. This is why people walk around in the state they do, because they don't know nothing. All right. Let me grab this. This is Psalms 31:6. I have hated them that regard lying vanities. Yeah, like Christians, but I trust in the Lord. So these people, they believe in the lying vanities that Babylon has been given in this walk. So, you know, what I'm getting as a deception, like Revelations 20, Esau to deceive the world. So these people love lying vanities that all can be saved and I can do whatever. Like you should hear some of the conversations that Christians have, not knowing what I know. Okay. I've heard Christians say some outlandish things, and in my head, I'm like, this is the mind of a Christian? But then they got the gall to come at us or talk the way they do about us. But look what the fuck you're doing. Look at how you're thinking. Look at how you're walking. Look at how you're talking. And then you think that we're wrong? That's fucking lying vanity. And we hate that. Proverbs 13:11, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. And that wealth gotten by vanity is woe to him that established a city of bloodshed and iniquity. Okay, so that's getting ready to be diminished. So this is why we don't envy the prosperity of the wicked. Okay, the money ain't even real. They ain't walking around with gold and silver. And the only chain that they do got on, it ain't gold, it's pride. Okay, so this thing, they're about to get jacked up. So that chain, you about to get it ripped off your neck when Yahushua comes as a thief in the night. It says, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. That's why I got 1 Corinthians. Our labor's not in vain. Our labor's not in vain. All right, let me see this. So real quick, Ephesians 4:17. This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind. Boom. See that? This is how these people outside of this truth are carrying themselves, starting with Jake being influenced by the heathen in the Gentile mindset. And this is not how we're to carry or conduct ourselves. You understand what's going on. You understand this is vain. You now know what's important. All right. Serving the Lord is not vanity. Serving Babylon is vanity. So understand where you're putting your best foot forward in. Okay. And that's what? Walking towards Yahushua. Be ye followers of me, even I am of Hamashiach. So that's what you got to maintain. And this vanity's about to come crashing down on these people, man. You know, so I just want to do a real quick lesson on that. I pray that it was edifying. And I just want to say, call halal, abanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.